Hello traders, welcome to the Friday forecast. Today is NFP. Basically NFP I'm not trading I'm trading only until 8 a.m. London Open, and then I stop trading because of the news. And you can see it looks like we had some news push the markets in the upwards direction. Let's take a look at the prior price action. This is of course EU. So in the prior price action, this is what I'm looking at. I think we stopped somewhere here, so at this point I did a recap on Wednesday, and yeah, we just ascended and then just ranged around. So we had this ascending, nothing really clean, so wasn't seeing enough conviction anywhere, and then we just kind of ranged around, and now we're getting an impulse up but with an aggressive retrace, also an engulfing retrace or an engulfing pullback. So what's an aggressive retrace? An aggressive retrace is a red candle, or of course a blue candle if you look at it in reverse, that is bigger than the impulse candle. So this red candle is bigger than this one and bigger than this one. It's definitely a momentum shift. It's also engulfing, meaning this red candle ate up the whole blue candle. So when I see this sort of an aggressive retrace, I expect a range or a reversal. So on a Monday or on Tuesday, because those are predominantly range bound days, I do expect to get some sort of a range. If we do get a V reversal, which we can of course, and then a range, this is a high probability pattern to sell to the downside. If this happens, I will of course look to sell. And if we do continue to the upside, so if we do continue trending up, I will look for more momentum, because usually what happens if we just tap into this area like this, because of this aggressive retrace, we most probably will reject. So something to backtest, see what happens when we get an aggressive retrace and then the next candle taps or breaks the high, see if it retraces or if it continues. If it continues, I will look to buy. That's it for EU. EJ, there was one opportunity, so right here to buy, but for me it did not fit my plan, and I will explain to you why. So maybe some traders were seeing a descending structure or a large descending channel, and then they saw this liquidity grab with a huge wick, and they saw a break of the high with momentum. Basically this would have been your entry area, this inside bar, so you would have put the pending order here. For me personally, this one did not fit my plan, and the reason is the descending was not as well defined. So basically descending up until this point it was looking okay, but then we got this momentum. Basically we got a large leg down, breaking up the descending channel. What I wanted to see a bigger slowdown, so I wanted to see something like this, which we did not get. So yeah, I didn't like this part. And also look at the breaks. So the most recent break was right here. We broke, wick, retraced, and then it continued. So basically here was a slowdown of momentum also. So looking at this whole setup, I did not want to risk it, and I think it would have been a 1% loss with a 12 pip stop loss. Let's see. So yeah, it would have been a loss. So good that I followed my plan. Overall it was looking descending, but also look at the larger picture. Reversals in a range usually are not the best thing to take. So yeah, that was also my concern. The best reversals are usually after a nice trend. So basically if it's coming down and then you get a descending and then reversal like this, and then you buy here. So that's our goal with reversals. Okay, most recent price action, let's take a look what's happening. So range bound, just breaks the high, retraces, breaks the low, retraces, still flat. Overall structure still stuck in a range, so definitely still not seeing any potential. I'm just being a lot more patient. For this pair, I'm looking for a large impulse up or a large impulse down to move away from the structure. So something like this, or something like this, V range push up, but I need to see conviction. I need to see it move away from this current structure, as I just said. Let's move on. AU, range bound. There weren't absolutely any setups. The range continued from my last recap. So from Wednesday, the range just continued, as we can see here, basically ascending into descending, into another ascending, into another descending, into another ascending structure. So this is definitely stuck in a larger sideways range. As you can see, what I'm looking for, same as on EJ, I'm just looking for price to move away from the current structure to the upside, or move away from the current structure to the downside, give me some nice entries. So that's about it for AU. AJ, well, it was descending. Was there any opportunities to enter? Let's see. So no, after this flag, there were no opportunities. I didn't have any orders on, or wasn't even looking at anything. Basically, this is descending, but it's not a clean descending channel. This to me is not a clean descending, so I'm being more patient with this particular pair as well. What I saw here, this was a nice descending, but then it broke the structure. We got some momentum here, unfortunately no setup, and then it ascended, and then we got this large leg down. So let's see if this leg will continue. If in the next week this continues, definitely that would be a nice opportunity to sell. If it reverses, it would be a nice opportunity to get in on a V range and a push up. But again, I just need more price action. I need more candles. This is definitely not giving me any sort of confidence in trading the pair. GU is a bit different. GU is showing us momentum, same as EU. So I do like this price action a bit. Let me explain why. Here there were no entries for me, so I saw no opportunity to enter. And then we just kind of started this ascending structure. So basically on GU I need to see a large impulse up or a large impulse down, especially on this pair. Then we got this momentum up. So at this point it would have been good to possibly get a nice uptrend and then get in on a trade. But this next candle is of major concern. So this red candle, as I just explained, is a definite momentum shift. Look at the size of it, compare the size to the blue impulse candles, definitely bigger than most of the candles, if not all of the candles. And it engulfed the last impulse candle. So it ate up, from the top to the bottom, it ate up the blue candle. Another warning sign. So in the next week, let's see if this may potentially continue. I would look to buy, but I would be a bit careful, because usually when we get a momentum shift, the next break retraces and just does this. We get a range basically, because a momentum shift signals either a range or a reversal. One thing we can expect, if price decides to go down, let's look for a range and let's look for an impulse to a downside. So V, range, push down, and then we'll of course look to sell. So possible that we get that sort of formation, we will see. I am expecting a larger range here because of that momentum shift and because Monday and Tuesday. So let's move on. NJ looks the same as AJ, as most of the time they do. They move very similarly, but basically NJ moves kind of channel to channel. So what do I mean by that? Well, you get a descending channel, you get an ascending channel, then another descending, then another ascending, then another descending, but overall it is moving down. So can you spot that it is moving down? So also here it is moving down, but we're getting a descending, ascending, descending, ascending, descending, ascending, and now we have a large impulse down which did not continue as of this moment. So yeah, this is not looking good. I don't like this last price action. So here this had a potential to give us some sort of an entry to sell. For example, right here, because as I said, descending, ascending, descending, ascending, but overall it is moving down. So we did, in my backtesting, I do have some cases such as this one where I place a pending order. I think this candle is counter the trend. It is, so basically like this. then it taps me in and continues with the movement to the downside. So yeah, that can happen, but I did not get an opportunity because the next candle printed a huge wick, I believe. And yeah, but it was looking okay. The price action was looking okay. At this point, it's looking much worse. So volatility here, large push down, push up, large push down, double wicks on the bottom. So just range bound price action right here. I'm expecting to get more of this range bound movement. So yeah, I'm just looking for a large impulse up or a large impulse down, then to buy or to sell. On my watch list for the next week, for the start of the next week, we have EU and we have GU. Those pairs do have potential to continue with the uptrend. If they do, I will look to buy, but my concern is the aggressive retrace that I just talked about. Again, if it continues, that would be great, but I do expect a range because of the aggressive retrace. Other pairs are very sleepy, so we just need to let them be. We just need to let them develop. At least we're getting some movement in a certain direction on almost all of them except EJ. I think EJ is heavily stuck in a flat range. Yeah, definitely heavily stuck in a flat range. So yeah, that's just how trading goes. We haven't had a nice ultra high probability no-brainer trade for a while now, but it happens. It's all a part of trading. We're patient, so we can have 1, 2, maybe even 3, maybe even more slow months in a row, and then the next month we have 2 or 3 huge winners which bring us 20, 30, 40%. So yeah, we need to stick through the bad months to get through the good months, to get to the good months, and then make all of the percentage. So now is the time to preserve the capital and actually not overtrade and not take too many losses. So good luck with your trading. See you guys in the next week, and I think we may get some nice movements, especially after NFP. That's it for the video. See you guys in the next one.